you'll need 1 cup of chocolate chips, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 2 cups of flour, about 5 very ripe bananas, 1 egg, 1 cup of brown sugar, and 1 stick, about a 1/2 cup of butter. And I always like to throw it in the microwave for maybe about 15 or so seconds, just so it's nice and warm and a little bit soft.
Hi friends! Today I'm going to show you how we're going to bake chocolate chip banana brownies. The recipe can be made into either brownies or a cake, and at the end of the recipe I'll show you exactly how we do that. It's a little trick. The first step that we're going to do is to cream the butter and sugar together. That means we're going to take 1 cup of our brown sugar, put it into a bowl, and then we're going to add the warm butter that we microwaved. So now we're going to cream it, which means we're going to take our fork and we're going to mix it together. We're going to smash, we're going to mix until you can't see that it's either butter or sugar, that it's just one little mixture. Okay, are you ready to do it with me? Get your forks ready, get your muscles. Whew, friends, my arm is really tired from mixing, but the consistency is really a cool texture. It kind of looks like what happens when we mix water with our sand. What do you think? Now we're going to take our egg and crack it into a bowl, and then we're going to mix it around with a fork to make sure it's all smooth. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now we're gonna add the beaten egg into the mixture with the sugar and the butter. Ready? Make sure it all comes out. Here goes. Ooh.
Let's get those muscles working again. Time to mix it all together really well. We want to make sure it's well blended.
Now comes the fun part, friends. We're gonna mash the bananas. We can take a potato masher. I have one like this or like this. If you don't have one, you can just use a fork too. That works really, really well. So we're gonna take about 5 bananas, and as I showed you before in the pictures, I like to use bananas that are a little bit old and have some brown spots, because it's a little bit of a secret that those brown spots are the sweet spots. So they make it really extra sweet, which we want, right? If we're making a banana bread or banana brownies.
Okay friends, it's time to add in the bananas. Can you count them with me as we add them in? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, this one broke in half. We'll add 2 pieces. And 5. This one broke in half too. That's okay. Okay, now using our big, strong muscles, we're going to take our potato masher or our fork, and we're going to mash, mash, mash really, really hard. We want to try to make sure that we make this as smooth and creamy as possible. We want to try to make less lumps.
So I was using my potato masher, but I'm seeing that there's still a little bit of small chunks of banana in the bowl, so I really want to make sure it's nice and smooth and creamy and no chunks, as much as possible. So I'm going to use my fork and finish off the bananas by smashing them down as hard as I can. The next step is to combine the two mixtures, the bananas with the egg, sugar, and butter. And use my mixing spoon, make sure it all comes out.
Now it's time to blend the two mixtures together. I'm sure your muscles are big and strong by now after all the mixing and mashing we've been doing. So let's do it a little bit more. Mix, mix, mix.
Now we're going to add in 1 cup of flour. We're also going to add in 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. And 1 full teaspoon of baking powder. So I'm just going to use my 1/2 teaspoon twice. 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Okay, here comes my favorite ingredient, vanilla. It smells so sweet. If you have it at home, take a little bit of a sniff. What do you think it smells like? I really love this smell. So we're gonna use 2 teaspoons. Now, remember friends, I have 1/2 teaspoon, so I'm gonna, instead of using 2, I'm gonna use 4. That's good math practice for you, especially if you have older brothers or sisters. Ooh, I can just about taste this vanilla. So good. Are you ready for the last ingredient? I'll give you a hint. It's brown, it's sweet, and it's shaped like a triangle. Wonder what it could be. It's a good guess. You know what it is? Chocolate chips.
Let's drop the chocolate chips in, but let's do it in slow motion. Now let's mix those chocolate chips in till the whole mixture is well blended and nice and smooth.
So now we're going to take some warm butter and we're going to grease our pan. You'll take a fork and the warm butter and you'll put it in your pan and you'll just spread it around. Make sure to cover the bottom and the sides. This will help make sure that the cake or the brownies don't stick to the pan and make it easier for it to come out when it's all finished baking. I'm using 2 little pans because I like my brownies to be kind of small and bite-sized. I don't like them to be too thick. This way, we'll also get to have more. Now that we have the batter all ready, we're gonna pour it into the 2 pans that we have. Are you ready to do this? I think you're gonna need some help though from a mom or a dad. Maybe you can be the scooper. Are you ready? Here we go.
If you want to leave it as a banana chocolate chip bread, leave it in the oven the whole time that it's baking. If you want to turn it into a brownie, here's my trick. Take the pan out of the oven after about 5 minutes in, and then you can take a knife and swirl around the chocolate chips. They're already heated up a little bit, so it'll spread the chocolate all throughout and turn it into more of a brownie consistency instead of a cake. So we're going to take the brownies out of the oven and let them cool on the counter for at least a half hour before we dig in.
Hi friends, here I have a piece of my chocolate chip banana brownie I'm ready to try. How about you? Are you ready to try yours? All right, let's take a bite on the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. אחד, שתיים, שלוש. Oh, it's so sweet. Oh, it's delicious.